Sensory processing disorder diagnosis, Mercer rant, take 3. So every once in a while you run into a problem and you think, this has an easy fix, easy solution. We run into that all the time.
All the time.
As child and youth care professionals, the most prevalent problem we run into is behavioral issues. Always behavioral issues have some underpinning cause that makes us think, why is that child behaving that way? We've all seen it. Little Johnny cocks his arm, throws a block at his buddy. We don't want him to throw the block. We need to stop that behavior. But why is he throwing the block?
We don't know.
We don't know. When we don't diagnose sensory processing disorder, something happens. Kids get diagnosed with something else. Or worse yet, they get labeled
Bad kids.
bad kids. They're not bad kids. So what we end up with is a situation where kids been misdiagnosed and they end up on pharmaceuticals. Why are pharmaceuticals bad?
Pharmaceuticals don't give them the coping strategies. Pharmaceuticals are because of the wrong diagnosis, which isn't a proper treatment that the child needs.
That's right. The child does not get proper treatment. So in Canada, we haven't taken a hard line on this. The Canadian Pediatric Society has not produced a policy statement on diagnosing or not diagnosing, but the American Association of Pediatrics has, and they've said, we don't want you to diagnose. We don't think the treatment is working. But they don't really have the research to say that it's not working, and occupational therapists, which is probably part of the problem, says, yes, it is. So now we have the pediatricians and the occupational therapists. Who do you think is going to win, Sam?
Pediatricians.
Pediatricians. So we don't get the diagnosis, and then we're left with kids that have a misdiagnosis or aren't getting any treatment at all, labeled bad kids. They're not bad kids. Something we have is called the CRC, Convention on the Rights of the Child. And Article 24 of this convention states that children have the right, yes, children have rights, Sam.
What?
Shocking, I know.
Wow.
They have the right to medical treatment. They have the right to information, which would draw a connection between a diagnosis, but that's not what happens.
So you mean the children have a right to a proper diagnosis and proper treatment?
This is what I'm saying. They do have that right, according to the CRC. So Canada, let's get behind our occupational therapists. Let's support them and encourage them and make sure that our pediatricians understand what they can be doing to help make sure our kids aren't misdiagnosed and then suffering under the use of pharmaceuticals.
And labeled bad kids.
Because they're not bad kids.
No.
No.